Welcome everybody to our Marin Interfaith Council monthly meditation. My name is Scott Quinn. A pleasure to have all of you here with us today. And we're blessed to have with us tonight a friend of the Marin Interfaith Council, Barbara Buckley, who is coming back to do another meditation this month, this time an InterSpiritual Meditation. Barbara Buckley's spiritual journey has had many twists and turns. When she found herself in a spiritual guidance training program 4 years ago, many of the pieces came together. More of a calling than a choice, she has claimed her identity as a spiritually fluid person. She's been sourced by a range of spiritual and religious practices, especially Buddhism and Judaism, and is a regular participant at Community Congregational Church Tiburon. Since completing her training at the Spiritual Guidance Training Institute, Barbara maintains a small practice of spiritual direction, companioning individuals and small groups on their spiritual journeys. It's such a joy to have with us Barbara again. We adore you and thank you for joining us tonight and for guiding us tonight. We look forward to the meditation you have to share with us.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you all. I just so appreciate your open-heartedness and support, and it's an honor to be here again this month. And I really so appreciate actually the monthly meditations and try to get to as many of them as I can, because they really, in my journey, they source me absolutely, the range of things and the commitment with which people bring things to one another. So I just welcome you all into this circle and this experience tonight. Thank you for being here. I'm going to share InterSpiritual Meditation, ISM for short, that I learned about when I first was, during the course of my spiritual guidance training, which I said it's 4 years ago, but I realize now it's probably closer to 6, I don't know. It just time sort of goes along. And I didn't really know how to identify who I was and what I believed and, how it fit into anything. And when I learned a bit about the concept of interspirituality, I think this makes sense and this helps me to define myself, to claim who I am. The interspiritual meditation piece specifically that I'm going to share with you is not actually a part of my ongoing everyday practice, but it speaks to who I am, and I've experienced it in many different formats, which has been lovely, primarily with friends and colleagues from my training program, SGTI. I was in the first cohort of that spiritual directors training program that I say started about 6 years ago. I'm going to try just sharing one definition of spirituality. Well, maybe it's not here. Okay, never mind, I'm not doing that. Wayne Teasdale someone says that he coined the term interspiritual to describe what he called the shared mystic heart beating in the center of the world's deepest spiritual traditions. An interspiritual approach goes beyond interfaith discussions about theologies and beliefs to a deeper dialogue arising from the exchange of experiences of spiritual intimacy and unity. And some people have said interfaith conversations seek harmony, and I believe that to be true. And the term used for interspirituality, the goal is exploration. I think the Marin Interfaith Council represents both. I think there clearly is a learning that comes about, and a harmony perhaps that comes about from understanding more about one another's traditions. But I think that, at least my experience, I find MIC to be a bit of a home for me. And I think it is about exploration. I think my spiritual journey is about exploration. exploration is at the heart of human nature. So this interspiritual meditation, as created through a lot of effort, it sounds like, and many, many complex conversations from what I've read about it, was founded in Aspen, Colorado in 2002. And it's and the leader of that is Dr. Ed Bastian, who has been a Buddhist scholar, a filmmaker, and a student of world religions. And he just had the idea to bring together leaders, really very profound leaders from many different traditions, to spend lots of time together. And I think in some ways to discover what they have in common, not just in beliefs, but at the root of where their spiritual lives take them. So I think that went on for a few years. And out of that, Dr. Bastian and some other of these folks, I think, created this 7-step practice, spiritual practice for what they have described as interspiritual meditation. And Dr. Bastian also, they have a whole school and have lots of opportunities really for people of all sorts. I think people who don't know who they are and where they are and are just trying to figure out their own spiritual path can find lots of resources there. And then I think also people like myself and my colleagues at my training institute, I think just have found that resource in the concepts of being present to the essence and to the wisdom of all the traditions has been just a great gift. As I said, my training at the Spiritual Guidance Training Institute really focused on interspirituality. And as a result of that, a couple of years ago, one of the teachers and a number of the graduates created a weekly meditation program, and people take turns leading it. And it's often based in the structure of the ISM meditation, but it can be all kinds of things. But it really has been a wonderful gift coming out of SGTI and its students and teachers. And what I've found there is an extraordinary amount of creativity possible in the experience of interspiritual meditation, from music to art to silence to nature. I mean, it's really, a couple of weeks ago, there was an ISM with cats. So quite awesome. So what I want to do tonight is just to offer one opportunity of ISM. And the way I'm going to lead this is also going through the 7 steps, one at a time, and attaching to and sharing with you a piece of a poem by Charlene Harkin as part of the illustration, you could consider it, of the particular step. And in between each of the 7 steps, we'll have silence. I'll ring the bell and have silence for 2 or 3 minutes for a time of reflection, for people to see whatever it is that comes up for you. And then at the end of that time, we'll have a time to, if people want to reflect and share what they've experienced. Yeah, let's just start. So I just invite you to find whatever position is comfortable for you, and just take some breaths. And we'll just start with a time of arriving. So I just invite you to notice what you're experiencing in your body in this moment, what the thoughts are, what the physical sensations are, what the images are that may be happening for you. Be maybe attentive to the fact that we're each in our own little boxes, and we're also in a collective of, I think, 14 people right now. So to be aware and conscious of being together with a group of people who are all having individual and common experience. So as you arrive, just note what you're arriving with from the last maybe few minutes, what it took to be here in the last hour or two, to arrive from your experiences of this day, maybe to arrive from your experiences of the last 24 hours when you may or may not have been deeply involved in wondering and worrying or hoping in regard to an election. To arrive from your experiences of the last week. To notice you're arriving from this season in your life. To come here in this moment with all that you bring with you, with all that you've experienced. Bringing all of that here, and yet still being open to something entirely new and unknown in these next moments. I'm just going to ring the bell for a moment and have one more moment of quiet before we start with the ISM. So I will speak each of the steps one at a time. And then, as I say, I'll share with you a quote from a poem by Charlene Harkin. So we begin with, "May we be healthy and happy." And from Charlene, "Really, the whole point of healing is that it takes less and less work to be astonished. Really, the whole point of healing is that it takes less and less work to be astonished. May we be happy and healthy." May we be grateful. From Charlene, "You stop demanding that the world knocks you sideways and just let the sweetness of simple things climb into your heart. You stop demanding that the world knocks you sideways and just let the sweetness of simple things climb into your heart. May we be grateful. May we be transformed. The purpose of healing is that it takes less and less work to find a deep belonging. The purpose of healing is that it takes less and less work to feel a deep belonging. May we be transformed. May we be loving and compassionate. The inclusive congregation of stars, whose only doctrine is shine, so wants your heart as a member. The inclusive congregation of stars, whose only doctrine is shine, so wants your heart as a member. May we be loving and compassionate. May we become mindful through our breathing. The inclusive congregation of stars, whose only doctrine is shine, so wants your heart as a member, and the community of hillside daisies considers you an integral part. The community of hillside daisies considers you an integral part. May we become mindful through our breathing. May we become wise through our meditation. Really, the whole point of healing is to make an easier time of love, that it stop being singled out as a limited resource, that you may see your soulmate winking out at you through every bit of life. May we become wise through meditations. May we be in service to all beings. May we be in service to all beings. And again from Charlene. Really, the whole point of healing is to make an easier time of love, that it stop being singled out as a limited resource, that you may see your soulmate winking out at you through every bit of life, and that you remember each night the moon sets her light in the sky to encourage and applaud your radiance. And that you remember each night the moon sets her light in the sky to encourage and applaud your radiance. May we be of service to all beings. Before we close, I'm going to read the poem in its entirety. To Applaud Your Radiance by Shellen Harkin. Really, the whole point of healing is that it takes less and less work to be astonished. You stop demanding that the world knocks you sideways and just let the sweetness of simple things climb into your heart. The purpose of healing is that it takes less and less work to feel a deep belonging. The inclusive congregation of stars, whose only doctrine is shine, so wants your heart as a member. And the community of hillside daisies considers you an integral part. Really, the whole point of healing is to make an easier time of love, that it stop being singled out as a limited resource, that you may see your soulmate winking out at you through every bit of life, and that you remember each night the moon sets her light in the sky to encourage and applaud your radiance. I invite you to bring this time together, reflection, to a close in whatever way feels right to you. Could be a bow, could be hands over your heart, it could just be a smile to one another in the room. And we dedicate this time together to the well-being of all living creatures. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Barbara. Beautiful, beautiful interspiritual meditation. So at this point, everybody, we're going to turn off the recording